Good morning. Today is day 500 now. It's the final day of this explosion. And, well, it's been a long 100 days. We've had a lot of fun exploding with volcanoes, tornadoes, and all kinds of roadblocks in the way we can go out and around. Pesky drive to work this morning, and I wanted to take some time with the camcorder on to explain what's going on with this explosion, and it has to do with each person individually and where we are on the timeline of life and how we work together. And right now, especially with the Ron Paul movement and things that are seemingly unrelated, we're realizing that we're in this age of heightened novelty, and the people are awakening to their freedoms and their creative energies of what in life is pure and true and just and all that kind of thing. It stems from the nature that we all have to wear clothes. It's even in the law. When we grow up, we can't walk around naked. And the same thing we do with our mouth. We cannot always say what we want to say. Sometimes we're prone to fall to the levels of dense emotions where we say something we don't mean to say, or we lie, or we think it's better to keep people happy than to express opinion. So we don't know quite how far back through history. There's still primitive people around the world who don't wear anything. And now, it's an ego fight back that I'll put on clothes every day because it's the law. But we can see where defense mechanisms meet what is actually true. And even if you don't realize it yet, there is a correlation in the rise of the internet and the spread of information, how the zeitgeist of powers is really on its knees this time around in the election. And these aren't just political people. These are the icons of our country on our home soil and abroad. And it was in the paper yesterday that Rick Perry has been invited to join the Bilderberg group for a meeting. So that pretty much means to what you'd say the conspiracy theorists on the internet, who would say, well, this makes it look like he's being chosen by the globalist agendas, higher up picks. But we look back through history, and we have our iPods and our camcorders and our handheld camcorders and recent Sony and Apple things, and we are so interconnected that there were secret meetings that shows the powers of the world, and where money and power live, countries don't. So when you say, I'm proud to be an American, all your real leaders in this country, they're not of your country any more than they are of any other country. So there's a huge consciousness surrounding things that we, the lay people, shouldn't be able to know. And it started with Ron Paul in 2008. He started talking about the Federal Reserve in a way we didn't hear it in economy class. You know, we heard an economy where they print the money, you know, and then it was a vocab word, and then we moved on. But you see, this Federal Reserve is where the bankers created their own private bank to help out the banks and not allow any competition. And so I see people in every faucet, and it goes out to all the ends of the earth. There is defense mechanisms in us all, which actually create the culture that we do. How we have Walmart and greedy people, and you don't know the side effects of all this, and you don't know how far back through history, through the language that we've grown up to know, and the bias of the great England country, how far back. Like, I lived in 2008. Do I really know what happened in 2008? So in my own personal explosion, what my idea is use my mind like people through history have used weapons, have used physical force. And I think there's a maturity that comes with today's day and age here in the melting pot of America, that we don't hang people in the streets anymore. We don't wage war against ourselves with cannons and guns, and it's taken to the level now where we can see that ideas have the creative force attached to them, and in this time that we're living in, it's not your average place in history. If you realize the .com boom and where we are compared to, even some of the older people might not know just how much advancement exponentially took place, even in my lifetime. And the more you have to leverage, the more it grows. So I've been using my explosion to get rid of my defense mechanisms and see what's true and pure and not associated with a group thinking mind, because you have to be creative. It is your birthright, I guess. What am I trying to say is we have earthquakes, we have hurricanes, we have tornadoes, and I map those larger things in the world as metaphor, and we have to understand metaphor to understand the nature of reality itself. So it's been days of, and I don't know if I'm going to die now that it's the last day of the explosion, but I do feel really sick. So I'm going to go to Walmart here and push carts and see if I can think of anything else. I'm writing a book right now called Earthquake, and Earthquake is breaking down of my thought process. And when you're writing stuff down, it's a little bit easier than talking. So I hope you all had a good explosion, and it was really fun to take 100 days and just explore my psychology and bring what goes on in my head into the outer world. So, okay, have a good day. Check it out, it's Uranus on my car, and Neptune and Scorpio. I found these in the store last night, and I'm going to make my car like the constellations in the sky as I go through. Today is the final day of the explosion, and what this explosion is about is those moments in life that we see so frequently, where you're just like, come on now, for real, actually. And it all stems to do with when we were born, we all had to wear clothes. We couldn't be naked. And also with that, we couldn't say what we want to say. We put censorship onto our mouth. And also, we have words like please and thank you. We have little superficial fuzzies that sort of exchange with each other. And we want to know where we are on this timeline of history. And where we are right now is the height of novelty. And there, even if you don't quite understand it, there's a direct connection with people being creative and thinking for themselves, and the zeitgeist of powers, not just in a country. Money lives beyond country. And we had this .com boom, and all the people are connected now all around the world through the internet. There are secrets that we're not supposed to get out. Even Rick Perry being asked to join the Bilderbergs was in the front page of the paper. So it's crazy to watch this explosion come out here, because we're at an age right now where you have to be educated. You can't hide from your own mind. You get all that you want and more. So today, I came in and pushed carts in the morning, and I went home and took a nap, and they called me back in, which is really great, because last week I thought I was going to have 24 hours this week, but with the hurricane, everybody's getting overtime, and I'll have close to 50. So they called me back in to do the truck. I did the truck for a little bit, and it was cool to see everybody back there, and then they called me out to do carts. And it's kind of lonely on the lot, and it's a Scorpio moon. But I believe in God's plan and the whole timeline being in fixed to everybody's motivations. Because when I got home, I felt well, first when I was on the lot, a bug flew in my eye, and I couldn't get it out. I don't know if it's still in there or not. But I had this pulsating headache right here, and I wanted to stay up and study, but it got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I thought, I'm being told to sleep by a higher power than myself. So sure enough, they get me up at 5:14. I felt rested and ready to go back into Walmart. And so the day's name, the final day of this explosion, I went in and I got 49 books to write on, 70 pages each. So I'm really going to have time getting smarter, learning how to study and stuff like that. But Gabby had this plate, and it was in, it's hard to talk, isn't it? One of those machines, catch and grab machines, and she spent over $20 just trying to get this plate, and she finally got it, and it dropped, and she's been trying to do this for 2 weeks, and it got stuck in there. So while I was on the car, she said, help me move this, help me move this. So we tried and tried and tried for a long time, and finally we moved. Well, I did it. I came up with the idea to do a combo move, a swing forward, a swing back, because the machine was on wheels. And so Gabbys Plate is day 500. So this, with my tornadoes and tsunamis and all this, was just to defeat the defense mechanism and stay true to what's honest in all situations, in every situation, and what that leads you to. So it was a fun time exploding.